Okay, fire signs, this is your daily focus tarot for Monday, August 2nd. So we have the Page of Swords and the Moon, right? Now the page, the messenger, she's looking away from these cutting thoughts. She's got the sun and the earth. She's literally standing up on a hill, started to walk down it towards the water, towards the emotional, towards the spiritual. And she's got an arm warmer on, or like an arm protector. She's holding the sword up towards the air, towards the sky. So she's like, her cutting thinking is towards her dreams. It's almost towards the moon here. Now this is a card about, information seeking. It's a card about researching. Thirst for knowledge is what this card talks about, but it also kind of talks about stalkers sometimes. To me, this is talking about you're shying away from your thoughts, you're shying away from whatever this knowledge is that's leading you from stable ground to emotional, more spiritual, towards being in the water, towards swimming. You want to stay standing on the ground, but these thoughts are guiding you towards movement. They're guiding you towards the water down here, towards the lake. And the Queen of Swords, she's, the weird thing about this Druidcraft deck, a lot of times the people in them are actually, like, she's got one hand on the hilt, but then the other hand is on the blade. You wouldn't touch a very sharp blade with your hand. She's got the purple and the purplish blue, so she's got the colors of royalty, she's got the colors of spirituality, of intellectuality, and she's got her wooden throne on top of this high ground, and even the stone is kind of purplish blue. But she's sitting in such a weird way. She's got one foot kind of arched up and the leg is up, almost like she's having a cramp or a spasm in her foot. Or like she's about ready to leap up. And then she's got the other one at this weird angle, and the big toe is separated from the other 4 little toes. Does she have a ring on her toes? No, she doesn't. I thought for a minute she might have a toe ring. So that's like a really odd angle to be sitting at. But she's definitely very, straight-backed and defiant. She's got wisdom with her gray hair here blowing in the wind, and she's got the wisdom from from sitting under the Bodhi tree, and she's guarding this knowledge, this tree of life, this tree of knowledge. This card is talking about setting clear boundaries, being unbiased, being straightforward and direct, analytical and independent. So the Page of Swords, she doesn't want to go down into this emotional and spiritual lake. She's trying to ignore these thoughts. But the clarifier is that you need to get that knowledge. You need to deal with your emotions. You need to set those boundaries. Maybe sit under the tree and gain the knowledge from it. Meditate. Pay more attention to your higher spiritual self. Definitely pay attention to what it's telling you. Don't be ignoring it. Seek that information out. Set that boundary in your information seeking and in your emotional life. If it is referring to a stalker, this is obviously saying clear boundaries. pay attention to any thoughts that could be cutting your hand, that could be preventing you from doing stuff to keep you from being harmed. Pay attention to that. But to me, it's more about you delaying yourself, you preventing yourself. And the moon, this can be talking about, it talks about what's hidden from you, but it also talks about like daydreaming, sort of. And the tree of life is back here again, the tree of knowledge. It's bookending her. She's sitting on the moon, but she's also got the moon above her head, and she's looking up to it, trying to get its knowledge, trying to understand what's happening in her life. And the moon is, it's talking about the unconscious, so don't spend too much time daydreaming or too much time trying to understand, because the King of Cups, again, he's got, wooden throne, he's got the lyre, the harp, so he's got the music, he's got the ability to leave the underworld and come up and bring, he's got the ability to get out of the darkness and bring about, with him this spring, this abundance, and it's an emotional, it's a spiritual abundance, and he's sitting on solid ground, so he's got emotional balance, he's got, restraint and diplomacy, and you might need to use that restraint and diplomacy today to maintain your emotional balance. The funny thing is, both this Queen of Swords here and this King of Cups and the moon, I mean, look at them. They're all facing to the right. They're all facing that way. Except for the Page of Swords, she's looking the other way. She's not dealing with these thoughts. She's not dealing with these emotions, with the spiritual. She's not going where she's supposed to be going. She's trying to fight it, because one foot, just like the Queen of Swords, like one foot is facing in one direction, and the other one, this one is locked, whereas this one's up and ready to get going. This leg of hers that's got the arched foot, it's up and ready to get going, but it's like going in two different directions, and you need to be all going in the same direction. The Page of Swords, she's fighting this. The Queen of Swords, she's not fighting it anymore, but she's almost hurting herself. And then the moon, she's facing the same direction as the moon and the King of Cups. And the moon, she's quite relaxed, just sitting there, almost invisible, like she went from fighting it to saying, okay, I'm gonna take action, I'm gonna do this. And then she took the action, and now she's kind of at peace. And this King of Cups, he's facing the same direction as the other three. This leg, it's down on the ground, it's on solid ground, but he's also, he's a little bit tense, but he's mainly relaxed, and both his feet are facing in the same direction. His whole body is going in the same direction. So there's something here about choosing your direction, being sure of your direction, knowing the direction you want to go in and why you want to go in that direction, and stop fighting it. Stop harming yourself with this indecision or with this lack of looking at your thoughts and clarifying your thoughts. This lack of research, of knowledge, and of setting boundaries once you gain that knowledge. I hope this was really helpful to you. Have a great Monday. I'll see you tomorrow. If you have any comments, thoughts, or suggestions, feel free to leave them below. If you like the video, hit the subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification button. Otherwise, have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.